In this video I'm chatting about the Desert Fox fuel cell, and I've got a 3 litre bag here, but there's a 6 and a 20 litre, so stay tuned if you want to find out more. Hi, I'm Francois from adventurebiketroop.com, and in this video it's just a short chat about the Desert Fox fuel cell, and it just started lightly raining. If you want to carry fuel on your dirt bike or dual sport bike or adventure bike, but you don't want to spend lots of money on an extra fuel tank, or you want to keep the stock tank, then you're going to have to find some container to carry fuel with you. And especially on this Honda with only a 2.8 gallon tank, it's definitely necessary if you're going to go out of town. Now there's lots of different options available, which we'll chat about later in this video. But this is just a short review, if you like, or short chat about the features of this Desert Fox and what I think about it. Now the first thing is that I like the look of this. There's a lot of ugly stuff out there, but I just like the look. Not important though. One of the biggest advantages of this Desert Fox bag are all these hooks or D-rings, and then this strap here that's stitched across the top and on the sides, and it's stitched in different places there, so it makes it easy to fit this bag to any type of bike or lots of different places. It's very versatile. So on this Honda XR650L there's not a lot of place to hook any straps, and I got my rock strap stolen, so I had to fit this with one very long tie down or long strap, and this bag made it easy to do so, because I had one place at the bottom of the frame where I could hook through the strap, and then at the top I could split this in order to attach the front and the rear, so it can't really move at all, and it's basically just strapped to the seat. And on a bike like this or a dirt bike, there aren't luggage racks or places where you could hook a strap easily in different spots, so the versatility is a very big plus. Now I've just ridden about 60 miles. The last bit was quite rough, you can see here, and it's completely dry, so there's no leaking at all from the cap. Now this bag of mine holds 3 litres. There's a 6 litre bag and a 20 litre bag. It's more of a square bag. I like the little 3 litres and the 6 litres because you can fit it to a toe box or your panniers on the sides. This one I actually bought for my trials bike to fit or to tie down or zip tie between the front forks. Now on this XR I would also be able to put it on the front just below the light. And it's super versatile with these little D-rings and the straps stitched to the outer pocket. Now the bladder comes in this pocket. I've heard of some people that said after a while this nozzle or this cap part can slip into the bag, and then you can struggle to get it out again. There's a solution that one guy said he zip tied 2 zip ties around the neck to prevent it from going in. This one seems like it's properly stitched. I think, if I remember correctly, these bags come from Australia. It says on the packaging that it's made in China. It looks like a sturdy looking thing. I mean, I've seen people that's used it 40-50 times without it starting to leak. A nice feature is also that it's got a nozzle, a detachable nozzle in a little pouch that's stitched to the side of this outer bag. To prevent dust coming from here, I heard someone said he just stuffs a rag in the tip there, otherwise you might get dirt into your nozzle, which is a problem on EFI or fuel injected bikes. Something to take note of with these is that the inner lining of the cell can easily be damaged if you stick your finger in there, or if you stick tools in there. I don't know why you would, or the nozzle of the fuel pump. So the packaging says you shouldn't stick it in more than 40 millimeters. Well, 40 millimeters will already hit the inside, so I was careful to squish the bag to make sure that the nozzle don't go too deep into it. Now this bag will take slightly more than 3 liters. I know the bigger bags take more than the indicated amounts. I just put in 3 liters, and there is some air gap, but it's important to keep the air gap in there, otherwise if the bag expands it will start leaking. Now, one thing that I don't particularly like about this bag is this cap. It's not a, it doesn't feel like it's going on. It looks like it's only just touching and then it gets stuck there. And it's not cross thread or anything. I had a look carefully, and it's not leaking at all. Oh, it is leaking now. I did this a couple of times earlier, and it feels like it's on there, but it's not quite on. It's a very fiddly cap, and I looked at the threads, and there's no damage or anything. It's a brand new bag, so that's something that I don't really like about this. There we go. It's on there, but it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like it's on, and I'm not confident that it's on. But there's no other way to do it, and it's not leaking at all. And this is how I rode it for 100 kilometers just now. So the cap, I just don't like that. This nozzle just sticks in there, so it doesn't screw in. So we'll see now whether it leaks. If you squeeze the bag, it just pops out, so you have to be careful. There we go. Okay, there. It's actually leaking here. The sticking nozzle. I don't think you will be able to see on that side. Okay, so it works. If you look closely there, this nozzle just sticks in there, but it's not a tight fit. It can easily come out again. And there was a lot of leaking now. I'm full of fuel. You have to hold it in there. It doesn't fall out. It doesn't fall out, but you have to hold it in place, and my hand is full of fuel now afterwards. So don't like that at all. And this is what I've also heard from other people. This would have been nice if it was a screw-in filler, like my other bag that I have at home. So let's go to the shed to chat about the other options. So let's have a look at two other options. So both of these I bought when we went on a 3-month trip from Cape Town to Cairo, right through Africa, on 2 Chinese delivery bikes. So the first one is this 5-liter jerry can. So it's a normal jerry can. It's very sturdy. The problem with this was I planned on attaching it to the crash bars on the Chinese bikes, and I realized this is going to be so heavy, and it's very difficult to attach this because you have to make a rack then, which is an additional weight. And then also if it's empty, which it was for most of the trip, it takes up a lot of space, so it's not very versatile. It's amazing to carry fuel on your pickup or on your truck, but not so much on a bike without big panniers. So then we went for 2 of these 7-liter military grade plastic bags. This, I can't even remember where I got this. I'll see if I can pop a link in the description if I can still find this, but this was awesome. So this is what we took on this 9,630 mile trip for 3 months. And the nice thing about this is it can also fold up, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. So I put this at the bottom of my luggage rack with all my bags and tents and stuff on top of this. And then when we did use this, which was only twice on a 3-month trip through Africa, I mean this is rural Africa, we only had to use this twice. And the once was in Malawi where there were fuel shortages, and the other time was in Egypt in the western desert, where we took a detour through the desert where the oases are about 500 kilometers or 300 miles apart. So there we had to fill up the bags. So our bikes had about 10 liters in the tank, usable liters, and we got about 35 kilometers per liter. So we could do easily 300 to 350 kilometers, which is more than enough in most parts of the world. So the nice thing about this bag is that you've got this nozzle inside, so it actually screws inside, it can't fall in. And then when you want to attach it, it screws into the opening there, and this is awesome. It doesn't leak at all. So this is what the military uses. I don't know where in the world, but anyways, that's what they told me. And you can see this is sturdy. There's no way this will leak except if you really puncture it, and then it doesn't drip all over the place. It doesn't leak at the nozzle here. So this is actually a much better option for me. And if I had to make the choice now on a long trip, so say a trip very far from home where you really might need a reliable extra fuel source, I would much rather take this old bag of mine. The only downside with this is you don't have any tie down spots. There's only this handle here, so you have to make sure that you tie it down properly. So I had a luggage net over this when it was filled up. This I will probably use when I'm not too far from home, a weekend trip maybe, so where I'm not going to be left stranded if after 5 or 10 fills it does start leaking or giving me troubles. And this is not something I would want to use every day, more as an emergency. Whereas this one, I don't mind using this every day. It's just such an awesome bag. Anyways, let's go back to the bike. Okay, so what is my conclusion? What do I think about this Desert Fox bag? What I like about this bag is the fact that it looks good, it looks durable, it's very easy to fit to your luggage, it's very versatile. It didn't leak on my way here. It has this nozzle in here. Dislikes, this knob is very fiddly. I don't like this knob. It doesn't feel like it's going, it feels like it's cross-threaded or something is wrong. But even though it looks perfect from the inside, there's a little bit of a stitch problem here if you look very closely. Not a problem, but it's just annoying on a new thing. Then this nozzle, I hate this nozzle. It should have been a screw-in nozzle. The stick in, it's very, the size of the bag, and if it's filled up, when you try to pour petrol in it, any little squeeze will spew fuel all over you, and this nozzle comes out again. So you have to have the nozzle, you have pressure, need pressure on the nozzle to keep it inside, and then even then it still leaks, and then you have to somehow hold the bag without squeezing. Even if you fill up as well, you have to hold the bag in a specific way in order to get fuel in there without sticking in the nozzle, which you're not supposed to do for fear of damaging the inside liner. Now, it seems very negative, but I like this bag and I will probably use it, especially on my trials bike or playing around here. Whether I'll take this on a very long trip, I'm still not sure. I'll probably get a big tank for this bike, yeah, only time will tell whether it keeps working or not. Now, another thing is the bag, it's not available everywhere. I'll put a couple of links from different countries down below if you want it. But if you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. Are they happy to comment? And then please like this video so it can show up to more viewers that's interested in buying this bag. And let me know what you are using if you don't have a big fuel tank and take extra fuel. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.